where the hell is the Konami code? Don't worry guys, I've got this, because I've got the power. Nintendo power. So guys, I wanted to look back at Nintendo Power in this episode of Video Game Nostalgia because I just recently found out that Nintendo Power is no longer going to be in syndication. And that kind of breaks my heart because I'm a huge Nintendo fanboy. But I wasn't always a huge Nintendo fanboy. In fact, it wasn't until I saw this commercial that I actually fell in love with Nintendo.
Nintendo Power 12 times a year! 6 great issues plus 6 free strategy guides on a hot new game! That's twice the power for still $15! Wow, call now! Nintendo Power!
As soon as I was finished watching that commercial, I immediately went out to my mom and I asked her, Mom, for Christmas, would you please get me a subscription to Nintendo Power? And in case we haven't covered it before, I had wonderful parents, and my mom, of course, went out and got me a subscription. So, just a couple weeks later, I got my very first volume of Nintendo Power, and it was in fact Volume 20, featuring Mega Man 3 on the cover. And if anybody else here knows, the rest is kind of history because I'm a huge Mega Man fanboy, and I became a huge Nintendo fanboy after reading these magazines. I absolutely loved them. I loved going in, getting sneak peeks at new games coming out. I loved checking out the different walkthroughs of games to find out whether or not I could actually play it, because I knew what I could play at the time and what I couldn't, what I enjoyed playing. And I read every section, classified information, I read the Pulse, Player's Pulse, and I just loved it. I actually used to enter the contests all the time, which it's kind of foolish because I'm from Canada, so I don't even know if I could have won at the time. But I fell in love with Nintendo Power, and I loved it so much that I stayed subscribed from this issue, my first issue, Volume 20, which came out in January of 1991, all the way to Volume 162 in November of 2002. So for 11 years, my absolute favorite day of the month was the day that my new issue of Nintendo Power would come in the mail. So on top of Nintendo Power just being an incredible magazine that was enjoyable to read, fun to read, and really helped me out with the games I was playing, they also had a lot of really cool giveaways for being a subscriber. When I got my very first subscription, I got 12 magazines, a full year subscription, and it also came with a free Nintendo game, believe it or not. Isn't that cool? And when I got my subscription, it actually came with a copy of Dragon Warrior on the NES, and believe it or not, this is still my original copy of Dragon Warrior that I got with my Nintendo Power subscription. Sans the box. It's actually kind of funny because there must have been some kind of mix-up, and I don't know if this happened to anybody else, but they actually sent me 2 copies of Dragon Warrior. So I kept one for myself, and I gave the other one to my friend Joey for his birthday. Funny story was, I love Dragon Warrior, and I'm a huge RPG fan now, but man oh man, when I got this, I didn't even remotely understand the game. Couldn't play it. I used to basically just play it over and over again in just the first stage, fighting slimes, and get destroyed. So, it wasn't until I was much, much older that I actually got good at Dragon Warrior. The next time I resubscribed, I didn't get another free game, but I actually got some cool strategy guides, and these were the first strategy guides, or code guides, I ever owned. So I remember getting the Super NES Player's Guide, and the Super NES Player's Guide was really cool at the time because I just had the Nintendo, I didn't have the Super Nintendo, it was new on the market, and it was fun to look at all the amazing games that were coming out for it. Top Secret Passwords, an incredible, incredible guide. It helped me so much cheat on the Game Genie, of course I cheat, to beat a lot of the games I had as a kid that I couldn't get anywhere in. And of course, Mario Mania. Funny story about this one. A couple of my cousins came over one time, and they saw that I had finished Super Mario World on the Super NES, and I had unlocked all the secret stages, and they were like, man, oh man, this guy's incredible. They sat down in astonishment and awe of how good I was at Super Mario World. Until they found this player guide on the side of the TV, and they realized that I didn't get there on my own. Anyways, guys, with Nintendo Power closing its doors in the next couple months, just wanted to take a quick look back on this wonderful magazine that I loved from my youth, and turn me into the big Nintendo fanboy that I am today. Anyways, guys, this is Michael B. the Game Genie, and I'll talk to you next time. It's not the same.